Fiesta.
Right, I left it muted. To appreciate art. We have appreciated art.
We've seen the art.
Just as we have seen over the course of this Four Job Fiesta lap, which is in service of charitable fundraiser benefiting Child's Play by way of gimmick run. Extensive generosity, meeting and exceeding my expectations, number of ideas for things to do during the marathon exhibition event that will occur at the end of Fiesta 2016, in which I will defeat the final boss and bonus bosses by the most time-consuming method possible. Well, not possible, I suppose. There are ways one could approach them that would be even more time-consuming arbitrarily. The most consistently time-consuming. The slow road. Definitive in its form.
1.2 million gold.
Let's go buy rings! As much as the Fiesta season itself for this year is coming to a close, this run is in its final wind-up phase. This team just wants to go wait an actual fight in Mirage Forest. Scandalous. Who dares? These feisty ridicules. There, much better. So, this team is in its final roundup phase of collecting handfuls of equipment that will probably be of use when going into the void. In particular, the main thing. So, with just bulk money, we can go ahead and buy sets of all of the regular rings that you wouldn't grab from this very slippery ring vendor here. Sandals. More flame rings than necessary. Coral, although coral won't really be needed for the particular way I'm going to approach the usual coral necessary boss. Importantly, the sandals, in which actually forget the free sandals. Well, we'll get the free sandals, but they're not necessary. Laws of finance mean nothing. Hermes sandals, the universally accepted best accessory in the game. Outside of situations where you have very specific and precise need for something else's gimmick, usually wall rings. Permanent haste, immunity to stop and slow. The good stuff. Whatever else we're doing, do it twice. In a wide variety of situations, this is key to survival. There is, throughout World 3, one of each of those rings available for free if you were engaging in more sensible levels of cash grind or no cash grind, but still wanted access to these powerful relics. The flame ring we picked up earlier in the Ocean Trench, and there's a free coral ring and a free set of sandals inside of the void. This team is beyond any reason to be stingy. Yeah, just slip on back here to the old secret vendor of ninja wares. $20 Fuma, that seems about right. I would ever buy a regular shuriken. Why throw normal when you could throw Fuma? 10 times the throw density. Everything else gets scrolls. So the only other things I might do before entering Void, which have the potential to be time-consuming, but if they do, we can go ahead and expedite that. There are tools, there are ways and means. One, I wound up on the verge of having all of the blue magic. All that is missing is 1,000 needles and roulette. And I can get at those fairly easily. I think I might. Playing Final Fantasies, I essentially never go out of my way to fill the blue magic list, but we're this close. All without having to go very far out of the way. Been very convenient, courteous. Buying elixirs isn't really worth it. Those cost as much as a ring. If you do find yourself needing bulk elixir, it's a better use of your time to just farm from some of the places where they do drop off enemies. You'll receive the benefits of a rare drop in less time than you'd need to earn 50,000 bucks off even some of the nicer cash grind zones. Anyway, Blue Safari, final bits and pieces, one of which is going back to the pyramid. We won't be here long. And we're here with everyone this time, so we're much better off. And we've immediately been rewarded with our target. He'll be fine. Alright, let's settle in. Really, I probably should have given everyone learning before walking in here. Because there we go, she just administered the treatment to the wrong target. But yeah, she's a pretty simple attack pattern. Just every third move, she will have 1 in 3 chance of throwing the needles. At the wrong person again. Come on, Bland. You're better than this. Waiting on that 1 in 9 per cycle. I can float here all day, Bland. Don't think I won't. Well, now you can't miss. So if he gets confused, this could end poorly. There we go. Oh, let's just quickly secure an insurance policy. You. And you, yeah, everybody get it. There, mission accomplished. Now we never speak of the pyramid again. Although things that could be spoken of. Well, for one, let's get ready to have learning available on some other folks. Mail off. Yes, blowfish there is what would later be known as Thousand Needles. The times before the introduction of the festive cactus, whose iconic move it would become. It deals exactly 1,000 damage, regardless of any other factors. Plenty of situations where that's useful, since that's a way to deal consistent harm, regardless of a target's defense or your level. And for the final blue magic, we need to go to Bird Tower. We must do crimes at Bird Tower. In addition to the other stuff we're doing at Bird Tower. Primary objective, learning. Secondary objective, crime. Well, they're really two equally important objectives that just happen to occur at the same place. You chose this. Phoenix Tower is a dungeon situated way off this way. And now that I think of it, I could probably also have gotten blowfish from this desert. Or the Void Desert. Many options. Really? This thing has an old blade. Fascinating creature. Critical hits from bows are real and strong. Friend to all. Anku Hegu. Certainly a pair of words. Anyway, we're going in here. Phoenix Tower is a dungeon a lot of people will not do unless they have a summoner. Because if you aren't here to collect the final reward of bird summon, place is quite the slog. Slog because it contains these rude ladies, and another sort. There's like 3 kinds of rude lady and then a shitload of mini-bosses. Potentially. Like, there's each floor, when you try to go up the stairs, there's a mini-boss that will punish you if you choose the wrong stairs. What a hug. Alright, so I'm gonna just drop into the old algorithm guide here. Check up on which of these I am trying to rob. Wall rings are the common steel off of Chamkubia. The one that is not belladonna. And the one that is not cherry. Although it is a rare drop off of Sherry as well. From her, you can steal rainbow dresses and coral rings. Because all of these steals and drops off of these ladies are extremely valuable equipment. Especially if you have a dancer. That would be the other main class that makes you come here. If you have a dancer and want a bunch of dancer armor, these are the people to steal it from. So, whichever of you is the belladonna is the one I can murder, but I'm not sure who that is. Actually, I want to leave you alone, because there's roulette. That's what I want to learn. Actually, didn't want to do that. I mean, this is an encounter I'm trying to farm from, so let's just... Sorry about that. My associate, they are less than patient with some things. These leaders are rude primarily because they throw powerful status effects and often powerful status as counter. With multi-target instant kill, they become more manageable. Just put this second knife away. I seek only to crime. There we go. First reflect ring. There we go. Knowledge of reflect. Or, of roulette. We have learned to gamble. Just need to mug 2 more bouquets. Gambling's powerful stuff. Alright, so now we can discard a bunch of the learning. Permanently, actually, yeah. We don't never need to learn anything else. We have all knowledge from all times. I did not turn my grind into dozens of houses. $20 will do for all further purposes. If you have the appropriate tools to quickly deal with all of these rude ladies in this tower, then this becomes an excellent place to grind for money because all of those drops and steals are just incredibly powerful stuff. And this time things will be simplified because I can just get petrified. I can hopefully deal with the other one since I no longer require her spells. As good as Crime Frog is, it's not called for right now. Yeah, sometimes they'll just do things like double tap petrify. And yet I need you alive. Pushed a little too far. Did not maintain the balance of crime. That'll help. One for you, one for me. Nice and even-handed. Very good. Our work here is done. Just dispose of the evidence and be on our way. A fine heist. And that is wall ring number 3. One more, then into the void. And there it is. The time for subtlety is ended. Here begins the violence. Fine work from the team. 4 critical hits. Fine time to be out. These are one of the enemies that drop elixirs, rarely. There are much easier prey still available if one is seeking to elixir grind. Of those, I believe the absolute easiest is to just go right back to the Lynch Shrine and fight Moldwinds. Alright, I took a wrong turn there. Sometimes you mix a left and a right and you end up in the wrong hemisphere. These things happen. Sitting on 11 elixir. That is enough for now. This team can make good faith attempts at the bonus bosses, not necessarily... Well, against Shinryu, we have the necessary shenanigans to just deal with him outright. We have full trickery for Shinryu, perhaps the raw power necessary to deal with Omega at sane levels. We have like half of some of the strategies for Omega. And to help expedite having levels when we get to the things we have to fight, gonna avoid running from regular encounters in the void. Keep it to a minimum. Take advantage of our limitless power. We may even find some more elixir on the way. Like that one. Rare item drop is about a 9% chance. So these are not desert creatures. They do not have the sand flag. Range. Maybe they're more from the beach side of this equation. This guy, though, he's all sand. At no time shall I fear the desert. This team has Mighty Guard, our minimum threshold of health that we need in order to complete the game normally. Helpfully cut back. shell applies to all my guests, so it will, through a big guard, only be doing like 600 damage. 6, 7, or 8, rather than the usual 15. Vehicle neighbors, alive and well, making good use of the season. The math bot back there is one of your go-to sources for math magic. Not all of the vehicle noises that travel past my window are inflicted by biker neighbors. I also have a few poorly maintained regular car neighbors. And reckless driver neighbors who would be loud whatever they're in. You tried, Bomb. That's what matters. You dared. Good roads make neighbors of us all. First, make sure to follow appropriate archery protocols and firmly plant both feet before firing. There will be no hover archery here. Yeah, the party is comfortably at the lower edge of the endgame levels. Some of these nice farfareros will help us move along that path. That batch of float was not important for anything, and it's also easily replaced through Big Guard. This isn't one of those teams that has to scam its way into anti-gravity. We have a system and it works. A creature that is both moss and fungus. Missing link. If we were looking to grind in the Sand Void, then yeah, the float would be useful. And I will want a float set up before beginning my Omega attempt, since he does have Earthquake. Before rather than during, because this team would rather use Reflect. For most of the ways this team could hope to defeat Omega involve Reflect. So during those attempts, don't bring the guard, because then you'll bounce the guard, and then you'll have shielded Omega. Created a weapon that is beyond Omega. Good, there's the other enhancer. Both blue and red mage appreciate it as a regular weapon, if you ever end up needing them to swing regular weapons. And if I felt like it, I could set them up dual wielding. Carry both the weapon that's buffing the element they like, and a second weapon to just improve raw magic power. Or even just double up on the enhancers. Plus 10 magic is good shit. I think that Lilith was a rod? Yes. The confusing rod. Hello, Callow. Sorry. Parfistery. Her gimmick is die. Gave me a nice moment to go and confirm that the Power Staff is indeed a Source of Berserk. Saves me charging up the other source of shenanigans. A truly great Durgan. When you're heading through the Void Cave, don't forget your free halo. Or your complimentary seed lumber. Oh, I suppose you also administer quakes. Alright, so we get topped off, then we go fight something to get floating, then we attempt the ultimate weapon. Mission accomplished. A truly great Durgan. Most wise. Okay. Omega. Welcome to Omega. Wanted to get some numbers down here in order to start doing some thinking abouts. Oh, let's see here. Oh boy, Omega. To have left here noted, he has 50. Ooh, hold on. $55,000 health, of which, let's see, that was doing 16 and 7. 1,000 or 2,100, 2,100. First wing there, so 4 of those means that we're dealing 8.4 with a rapid fire out of the ninja in their current state. The result of which is to provoke several Omega counterattacks. So just off the top here, it would take 7 rounds of murder for our ninja to disassemble Omega directly. That will not work. Look at what he has done after just 1 round of murder. One of our party members no longer exists, and perhaps has never existed. What 4th party member? There have always been 3 light warriors. That's less than great. Further strategy is called for. We are going to assail that big 55 up there. Oh, let's contemplate. This run is already a wash. Nothing we do are going to get through here in our current shape. Gotta reconfigure. So the hope with that portion of what I was doing, well, let's also, for experimentation's sake, just toss a bolt scroll and see what that does. Garbage. Garbage is what it does. Provokes 2 counterattacks is what it does. No go. Died terribly confused. So for this attempt, we have to try something else. Let's see, actually, who has the best magic resist? 15, 16, 7, 7. We now proceed to try something else. Yeah, you will dual cast on. Everyone else is on repair duty. Alright, so the goal for this run is... Alright, so just to put forward here for someone perhaps unfamiliar with Omega. So, among his many layers of defense, one, his ridiculous defense, he has like 190 regular roll block, and a bunch more of, you know, regular defense and magic evade and regular evade and so forth. But among his many layers of protection is that he just has reflect permanently on, he just has barrier sitting there, ready to bounce anything that you throw at him. So if you want to use any kind of magic against him, you have to either use something unreflectable, or you have to bounce off a barrier of your own. And seeing demonstrated in the previous attempt there. Every time that you deal damage to Omega, he gets quite unpleasant and speaks his mind on the subject. Unless... because one member of my team has been hit, this counts as an attack against my party instead of an attack against the enemy. For 1,000 damage. And the other 1,000, so yeah, that's like 2.3 thousand damage. So with just 25 of those or so, closer to 20. "24 of those. Variance willing, I can defeat Omega. Except then that happens. Right. The ultimate weapon. Right. Ultimate weapon. Ultimate weapon. That probably won't work either. That cannot keep up with how much he will recover when he bounces Atomic Ray. Omega is a disgusting mass of numbers. To defeat Omega in hand-to-hand, direct, face-mashing combat. The truly powerful ordeal, and if this team can do it, they definitely can't with their current level of numbers. Like, there are some blue magics I could bounce into him to perhaps make parts of how he works a little more reasonable. But those all have exceedingly low chances to hit him. It's level 119. Makes him safe from a spark kill. Good job, Omega. Also, his armor, for an amazing act of foresight on the part of his designers, is strong enough to resist his own weapons. Truly the ultimate weapon. Fortunate. Yeah, that's a word we'll use. Damn. So another layer of how I can go about exploiting things here is that target that he just did. He uses that to call who he is going to hit with his next wave of counterattacks. Target is reflectable. The ultimate weapon. Alright, this is looking more feasible with each passing attempt. None of this regular fight garbage. Gotta do this 24 times. Nice! Right, anyone who drops will not be hovering. Rude. Nice! Do I have enough mana to perform all of my upkeep activity long enough to deliver 24 double bolt 2s? Plus a set for each time that he atomic rays himself. It's like he knows. You never know. Perhaps. Once in a lifetime. More like a bolt and a half that he gets back after firing the ray. Classic Quick Beam. Finally! Okay. Okay. Right, without rapid fire, none of my weapons can breach his armor. What do you mean I can't X-magic? He's been silenced. And there's no silence cure. And now 2 party members are on the floor. White Wind is a silence cure? Or Death is a silence cure, I suppose. I'll take it. Forward. It's a nice thought. Okay. Here we are again. Well, it's been fun. That is a setup that could maybe work, but will take ages of active execution. The sort of thing to come back to with larger number. The dimensional switch in the Borg. A book of pandas. On our way. Such a nice leisurely stroll across fragmented Void Castle. Sky Void. And you could just farm Fuma here. All the Fuma you'd ever want. Hand-picked, locally grown. No additives, no pesticides. Just pure classic Fuma. Some fine work, Ferris. Keep the pressure on him. Keep him guessing. For reference, there's the free samples. Yeah, if I decide to grind a bit of level into this team, they can hack it in the castle. A box of Thor. As my brother, a fellow master of the blue arts. But there is an art you do not know. Wait, no. Damn it. Oh, this can only target friendlies. There is an art you do not know. The beauty of the arts. If you make anyone float in front of Catastrophe, he gets real mad and will not do anything else until he successfully gravities them to the floor. You can reflect gravity. How he's harmless. How we sleep. The boxes here contain a dress and a set of red slippers. The one that's way off on the other side requires the roundabout path contains a man-eater, which I think we can throw. So I may as well bring that up. Right, I'm unhasted. I'll have to correct that. Apply the flip. Back in your speed shoes. Really, a speed archer is a natural partner for a Howard Ninja. Ari Carnisos. Or Halicarnus. Thought you'd ambushed a harmless collection of frogs, but it was us all along. Now perish. there goes Hal the Carney. What's up, Tanya? Wind of Tania. Looking pretty harmless there. When powering Gigaflare, one becomes highly susceptible to math. I'm feeling bold. Let's just press on. Plenty more save points in the void. Chris, the dragon. You know, Chris. If you don't confront Greg at the Meat Fortress for Excalibur, this won't happen. You just won't be here. Farewell, Greg. Shine on. Let's go ahead and set up my auto escape while we're in here. That will save time. There's a special box. Going to pass it by. Nowhere in the save point. And then after that's done, save, double back, do our Shinryu fight. Because then, after the Shinryu fight, I can load back up and then have this file after ready for the exhibition event. Have a file on hand, in the void, both bonus bosses, alive and well, and I hopefully procured all of the necessary supplies for the event itself. They're sitting in here, somewhere on the pile. Somewhere. There they are. And there it is. Just no barrier to entry. At any time, I could just flip everybody over and just do the move. Alright, so now I need my plan for Necrophobe. Wiz, level 66. Has an effective 40 HP, 34,000. Is surrounded by 4 invincible barriers, through which he has attained immortality. At level 44 and have a tiny bit of magic evade. 8,000 health. 300 mana. I was supposed to give you X-Fight before walking in here. Oh well, dies cast. Area's level 44. And have very little MP. Yeah, administer the guard. That will be important. For living. Alright, big guard brings these players down to reasonable size. The barriers will bounce either a single target flare or holy, or a multi-target Aga level 3 elemental spell. This is all that they do. And they do not have enough MP to sustain this for long. Right, they alternate between a wave of singles and a wave of multis. Their other big weakness is that while they do have permanent reflect on, they are not immune to death. So if you have a way to sneak death past a reflect, then you can take them out. And I'd left him with 50 mana, so that should be the last of those he can afford. And now you only have 20, so you shouldn't be able to do it at all. Or just barely be able to do it. Why not? We've established the threshold. Wait, walking in here without, walking in here without rapid fire on Krill means that I don't have my easiest way to break the usual damage cap. Not something that's necessary for victory in the fight, but it's I think I was hoping to show off during this lap. Maybe Ferris will be able to pull it off. We'll see once we reach the second phase. For the duration of Phase 1, Necrophobia himself is a target which takes no damage. A right and proper irritation. Nuts. He is now completely harmless, and I could go about sorting out my affairs at my leisure. My affairs are in line. Okay, he's down. 600. Down more than 600. $5,200. Still gonna try to pull this off. We'll see if one rapid fire out of Ferris does enough to break the cap. Nope. Never mind. The dream was dead. Take him out. Try to get off one regular swing with the chicken knife to measure. Nope, already over. Ahoy, Greg. Well, now I get to show this version of this dialogue. If you can deal more than 10,000 damage in one round, or otherwise like directly kill Necrophobia, bypassing his HP, you can get around the script that starts this, and you'll just die. The rudest Greg. A proper bloomin' to the end. The ultimate technique. Oh, here we are in the heart of the void. Great place to be. Yeah, definitely want the spare blue on tap for Shinryu. I mean, we got the other crown in lap 1. This just evens things out. Alright, here we are. Before the box. As if our HP totals mattered during this fight. It's gonna be very binary. We're alive or dead. No in between. Hour. Yeah, you are the third fastest member of the team. Blue Mage noticeably slower. Let's. Okay, so the plan. Berserker Shin. Step 1, Hopeful Mighty Card. Step 2, first of many more hopeful flashes. Step 3, be too slow to stop the tidal wave. Everyone is dead. Go to Step 1. Round 2. Get mad! Alright. The attempt is on. Alright, before I continue to do this, let's go ahead and math out what my odds here are. Ryu was level 97. Just go ahead and... got that down there. He's a 90. Whoop, hold on. 97. Whereas most of our folk are like level 35-ish. Putting us at a 62 disadvantage on whatever the accuracy of Flash is. And then after that, a 95% magic evade, so just laugh. No, nope, you're not getting anything in there. No chance. No hope. 95% magic evade. Unless we have ways to bypass that, we will not be blinding him. With the old sun flare. So it's just a beatdown. Right. Try that again. This time knowing I don't need the Mighty Guard. Who's in bone mail? Someone has taken up the bone mail. Stop that right now. What? Diamond plate down. Right, because I've thrown the suit over here because I need the extra speed. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We do it live. $2,000, $4,000, dead is dead. Ain't no difference. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, Krill is putting in nearly 10,000 with the rapid fires. We'll need only 5 of those. 5 or 6. Call it 6. While still immensely dangerous, Berserker Shinryu is far less dangerous than regular Shinryu. He will destroy only one person at a time with his mighty jaws. Nice! Snap the old victory photo. And claim our crest. Victory over Shinryu. Now to get this team destroyed. First come, first serve. Free crack of the Light Warriors. Congratulations, 4 Mind Flayers. Chosen Ambassadors of the Void. And the victory message has been received. Oink for processing. All well and good. The ultimate technique. I'm for Ned. Yeah, just all the way through. They stay consistent. Void is properly set in quotes. I think I'll leave the cutscene untriggered on the save. That can be there. Like, there's gonna be a bit of an intermission between... I'll do the 2 super bosses first for the main event, and then this is the main event of the main event, so it'll deserve a bit of fanfare and lead up. Ah, but now I've walked in here with just more blue. Fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We're all fine here. How are you? I'm just verifying his math. One cannot fully divide by tree, but I could achieve partial tree. Except his magic evade is also pretty decent. Truly the king of the forest. These two would be doing a lot more with rapid fire than they are as improvised blue wizards. There we go, now he mad. I'm sorry, what? Did that revive just this? Bone Bale! Alright, that's it. We're calling it off. We start fresh. Discard that false timeline. Much better. The power of void. Alright, this time for real. Fight me, tree. Note that X-Death's name is slightly too long for the window somehow. Just has empty space that extends out into the bar. The void label. The full majesty of the free fight background. There he is, rooted all the way back there. Reaching up into space. Uh-huh. Yes, please remember to pronounce the hushed, awed, and terrified silence which follows the name X-Death. realizing only at the final moment that it was not void, but void. That fatal mistake. And there he is. Get lamped. Let us also re-establish the guard. Good priorities, Ferris. This is the version of Ned that contains false targets to distract auto-targeting moves like Rapid Fire, or Meteor, or Berserkers. He's full of decoys. He's just too confusing, a grand mass of things. What do you stab? You don't know. Stab everything. Captured a moment of intense vibration. I threw the wrong Fuma. The right Fuma at the wrong... Fuma was misapplied. The Majesty! Quite reasonable behind a big guard. And he's readying the cross. Alright, that looks pretty mild. I think a bunch of it missed. Please die, Almaguez section. There we go. Down to 2. Now we begin the attempts at even-handed application of damage. Attempts. Points where our blue mages are reduced to administering helpful numbers. Both for and against. So there is actually a trick when you have very high single target damage output with regards to the Grand Cross section. It has a place in its normal attack cycle where it will telegraph and then deploy the Grand Cross. And then it also has health thresholds at which it will telegraph and then deploy the Grand Cross. However, each of those interrupts whatever else it was doing at the time, including if it was preparing to throw a Grand Cross, and then gets beat the hell down to the next health threshold. It will then charge a new Grand Cross. Cross within cross. And for this one's haul, no immediately visible. Ferris is in the middle of becoming confused. And that's it. I can work with that. Everyone else is fine. Everything is fine. Laws of universe, well and good. Meaning in all things. Brill is bleeding, that's fine. We're all fine here, how are you? Okay, rough roll on that attack. These things happen. I might switch back to throwing. With the target density falling off, more and more the rapid fires is getting consumed. Small ninja. And a silenced bards. I can work with this. We have a problem. We have a solution. Textbook tree surgery. Perfect synchronous. Triumph over the void. And although I had set no further donation goals, some kindly viewer has still seen fit to pledge a kindly number. Also, the fan patch doesn't bother to rewrite this scroll about the void and the crystals and so forth. It's just there. Victory for QuickFest. Well, for pre-QuickFest Lap 2 fundraise solicit thing. Victory over the preparatory efforts. Laying the groundwork. Foundations of festivity. with victory attained overlap too. I'm gonna have to go about settling on exactly when the event itself will air. By the time this video strikes YouTube, that will have been decided and start to get announced and endorsed and otherwise hype built about. 3 corners of these text boxes are off color. But not the last. Sit back and experience the fan patch version of the Everyone Survives ending. don't think that small bird sprite ever saw use anywhere else. That half-size micro bird. For 6, they switched up to a taller bird as the basic sprite, because they gave everybody 2-tile high sprites. And then it was on to the age of polygons. Remember the good times. Crushed by tree wizards. Mortally wounding an old man. Invading the privacy of your eventual cohorts. Poisoning. Poisoning. Family reunion, which led to further poisoning. The festivities. The dead pets. Having your eventual cohorts invade your privacy. Your abrupt injection into the story at the end of Act 2. That time the bridge was finished. Your abrupt entry into the story during Act 1. At the end of Act 1, even. Getting Left for Dead. The war that killed a substantial proportion of the population of your nation. That time we broke the conversation script. No one stops to remember the Greg times. They forgot Greg. And away they go. Yeah, this definitely very noticeably runs smoother on the SNES. The GBA version of this credit sequence gets very jittery every time that they decide to rotate the field underneath. GBA, just not as powerful as the SNES on several key metrics. People like to act like it was. Well, decided as was, and they made it so. For a lot of purposes, it was close enough. Got the job done. Earbird seems to be having a problem. Ferris, what's wrong with your bird? Debut of the Void Chocobo. But yeah, FF5 in its original form. It's serviceable. The old fan patch, quite functional. And I think this is actually like the older version of the fan translation that at some point since when it was first translated and the present day they did a second pass and there's another edition of this fan patch. Actually, it looks like, to some degree, the patch is distributed on romhacking.net is being actively maintained. It was last modified March of this year. So there's also a way more up-to-date fan patch, which, who knows, maybe they integrated things from other versions or otherwise cleaned up or improved on it. The copy that I have is probably from very close to way back when it was first made in 98. I would have gotten it somewhere in the early 2000s. Huh. Everyone here has learned 17 abilities. Neat.
Art. But a lot of other Fiesta laps, I have some sort of epilogue thing, either half prepared or just able to deploy off the cuff from just whatever experience. But after years of many laps of Fiesta, I'm just kind of short on material for anything to do with the ending of just the regular get here we are. It's a nice, competently executed JRPG, a lot of variety, a lot of replay value. Simple but effective plot. Brings itself effectively to a conclusion. There it is, it's over. The finale of the fantasy. Finalized, 5th. For Fiesta. Art.